And welcome back. This is the final part of our run through the deep with me, Magicalmike, and GuildWarsBuddy. Hope you enjoy.
So here there's not much to say about this area except for the larger Leviathan trapped in Jade and the Ukenji trapped in Jade.
Yeah, he's kind of precariously positioned there as if, you're going to run forward and this one's going to burst out as well and he's going to, completely decimate your team. But this guy never actually breaks out the Jade. You can actually look. I think I should look up in a bit. He's much bigger than the one we saw before, but we never sadly get to fight him.
Yeah, he's just off the beaten path, just a little too far off. And then there's the chains, which suggests the farming of the Jade here is rather extensive. That this is where they were dragging up the Jade. And again, there's no major holes out in the world to say where this is.
Yeah, so the important thing about the chains is they're all dangling down, and when you look to the top of them, you can see it a little bit just now. You can see light is coming there, so clearly there are somewhere these little holes that lead down to the deep. And as we all know, there are outcasts all over the Jade Sea. A big part of Luxon life is fighting these outcasts. And of course, if there was only one way into the deep, then clearly the Luxon, and that way was through Cavalon, which is where we just came. If that was the only way, then the Luxons wouldn't have a problem with the outcasts. But they've got all these chains hanging down, which they use to climb in and out of the deep, or this is what it looks like anyway, and that's kind of how they get all around the Jade Sea. And presumably, if they're in a fight and they're losing, then they're just going to run to these holes and drop down into the deep where they're safe, back down the chains.
And this is also the first room where when we get to the end of it, the door's wide open. There's no door left, but there is a massive gate area that was built around where the Jade Sea meets the Earth, that we're going to be seeing coming up ahead, but it's wide open.
So there's the chains again. You can see is that scaffolding at the top of them as well?
Yeah, a little bit. There's some scaffolding. There's also little drops of water coming down and a little bit of light coming out. So it really is indicative that is the surface just above us.
Which, as you can see, really is quite high up. Definitely is quite high up.
Yeah, because we've been going down and we've been going deeper and deeper and deeper, and the roof hasn't been coming down with us. So it is looking more and more like a massive cathedral that we're on, that we're underneath.
Yeah, I definitely do really like just the scale of this room. Cool, they're still coming. How long have we got left? Alright, okay, so here you can see this is that I'm looking at down there. You can see off in the distance. That is the cave where we're going. That's kind of Kanaxai's sanctuary, if you will. And yeah, like you were saying, there's this gate there that seems it's almost like at one point the Luxons had the time to build it, but the stuff that was inside spewed out more and more, and the Luxons have been pushed further and further and further back. All these structures here are long forgotten.
Alright, here's the last group of a major group of Oni. There will be some more up ahead with the outcasts, but this is the last major group of Oni, really.
So you can just tell this is really where the Oni come from. Something important about this mission is when we defeat Kanaxai, this is fixing the problem of the Oni. The Oni can only, I think the idea is that the Oni can only really get to this realm if Kanaxai's there to bring them there. And once we deal with Kanaxai, that rids the problem of the Oni throughout Kantha. So now we're really stood at the entrance to the caves that the Luxons accidentally dug into, and from where they released Kanaxai.
And this is the very dark room that has a kind of thin film of fog at the bottom of it, where the second you come near it, about 45, 50 sapping and freezing nightmares just appear in a round circle. They're fairly easy to kill, but it is quite frightening the first time you see this roving group going counterclockwise around Kanaxai.
So yeah, the second we get into this cave here, so this could be underneath the Maishang Hill. So which aspect is that that's talking? I believe it is depletion. So he says, so you have passed through the depths of the Jade Sea and into the Nightmare Realm. It's too bad that I must send you back from whence you came. So, the second you get in, it really is quite ominous, quite scary. You can see all these nightmares charging after you there. and you just really are greeted by quite a sight.
Yeah. And Kanaksai says, you've gone through the Jade Sea, now you're in the Nightmare Realm, so...
And he really has made this place his own. So you get this pressing mist, which was where we first got the idea that perhaps Kanaksai came, that perhaps here, where these mists are, perhaps this is the only point where Kanaksai is able to move from the mists into Tyria. If he was able to get to Tyria from anywhere else, surely he wouldn't be trapped under the Jade. So this is his prison here on Tyria, because he can't get to Tyria from anywhere else. This is the only place he can come to.
Yeah,
and you can see that with the kind of the pressing black mists here.
Yeah, that's what I would say anyway. It does feel like this is the connection point, and the dialogue does suggest this is the Nightmare Realm. So we're not quite crossing into the mists, but it does seem as if the mists are slightly crossing into our territory.
Yeah, and of course, like we were saying, that the nightmares that we're fighting here, you only find nightmares that are usually only related to the mists, aren't they?
Yeah, the ethereal beings all come from the mists, but this is the only place that freezing and sapping nightmares appear is here. And they will be appearing as we go down into the next section. Well, not the next section. The next section is the bizarre light and the poison and venom room. So now that we're in this cave, you start to see lots of weird phenomena. So the starting bit was, that weird black mist all over the place. And as we come into this next chamber, you see a different kind of weird magical effect. And as we go into the next chamber, there will be another one. And this could all be evidence pointing to the fact that there's something weird, something magical, some connection with this place to the outer realm. So here's the next aspect. So here we have some Oni and some outcasts, as well as a lot of fire, a lot of blood flowers and venom flowers surrounding this central circle in the middle, with a lot of light emanating from. It seems like it's coming from the surface, but not really. It's hard to tell. And those weird teeth that seem to be coming out of the sides.
We spent a long time when we were here before trying to determine, was the light coming from above? Because that's obviously the first thing you'd expect, but then it didn't look like it was. So was it coming from below? Because you can kind of see this ring, this sort of indentation, this trench around the center area in this room. And we looked, and it didn't look like it was coming from there either. And I think, the real answer to this is that, if there is an answer to it, of course, I mean, they could have just put it there to make it to look fancy, but I think the real thing is that maybe it's just a magical kind of light. It doesn't really come from anywhere, it's just hovering there. So the aspect of decay is the one that flat out says, I am Kanaksai, creator of nightmares, let me make yours into a reality. He flat out says that he is Kanaksai. So there really is no question, these aren't separate entities. Kanaksai is splitting himself. And what did we say about why he could be splitting himself into many pieces like this?
I don't know. I don't remember what we postulated as a theory for why he can split himself into many pieces. Oh, in terms of not being able to leave, because Kanaksai is trapped, but clearly the Oni aren't, and they're almost an aspect of him. And there are some of Kanaksai-ish characters in the Aureus mines. Yeah,
well, not even Kanaksai-ish. They are literally called aspects of Kanaksai. So, I mean, they don't have a.
They don't have an area of effect thing as these Kanaksai do.
Yeah, no, they don't have that, but they are flat out called aspects of Kanaksai. So it looks like Kanaksai is using the Oni, he's using the outcast, and he's using aspects of himself to escape, even if it's only temporarily, from beneath the Jade Sea, from getting out of this cave. So, alright, so here we go, we're moving into the next area. And these have got some cool light effects going on here as well, don't they, Xavier?
Yeah, it's got this weird chasm cutting across it with little willow wisps, if you will, coming out of them. And we have three types of enemies in this room. We have the Oni right here on the edge of it, followed by a lot of sapping and freezing nightmares as we go deeper. Finally, near the Kanaksai of Torment, we will have the final group of outcasts. There's only one group of outcasts in this room. It's right in front of Kanaksai's lair.
Yeah, and this trench where the firefly things are, it's another position where we can't see all the way down it. It's another hint that perhaps there's something lower down.
And this is pretty much as deep as it goes. When we go into the final room, there is again a film, a light mist, if you will, but not as present as the first room with the mists in it. And there's the aspect of nightmare in that room never disappears. Even if you kill Kanaksai and you kill everything in the room, that aspect remains. Which is ominous. Which is one of those things. Just very ominous, and it makes getting the chest annoying because you think, oh, okay, we can relax now and everything's dead, so we don't have to worry. But we're suffering from -8 health degeneration.
Do you think that could possibly just be a bug, as it probably is? But do you think maybe that's a hint that something to do with Kanaksai, even though we've defeated him, maybe he remains in some way?
I believe it's more that than a bug, because when they added the chest, they easily could have removed the aspect when you kill Kanaksai.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you consider how the doors are able to open and not open depending on whether or not you've killed the aspects, and the amount of doors that work perfectly well, and then remove the environmental effects, yeah, so here we have one last Kanaksai before the real one. So this is the aspect of torment. So here we are, finally coming into the final room. We're killing off the rest of these guys real quick, and then we'll the last group of outcasts are all gone now.
Oh yeah, so these were the last guys, perhaps the last brave adventure. You know what? If they really were a group of adventurers that were trying to get through to kill Kanaksai, that is quite. Yeah, and you can see mist here as well, actually, at the bottom of the chasm. Just on this area, though.
Oh well, yeah. Well, there's this light film of white mist and some will-o-wisps, and this feeling that the ethereal is just on the cusp, just there. And then here we have the final Kanaksai. How dare
Very
you
big
enter my realm.
And what they actually do to take out Kanaksai here, they're going to be using recall, and they're going to be knocking him down, because just like all of his aspects, he is invulnerable to damage unless you knock him down. So there they go. That's Magicalmike and GuildWarsBuddy off to save the day, and they're going to do that, then we're all going to move around and try and take him out. So he speaks to us, and Kanaksai himself says, "What gives you the right to enter my lair? I shall kill you for your audacity after I destroy your mind with my horrifying visions, of course."
Well, what's interesting about that is when you knock him down, he spawns 15 nightmares around him. Then when you knock him down the second time, he spawns another 15. And if you kill all of them and you knock him down again, he'll spawn another 15. So he's just got this infinite amount of nightmares in him that he's
pulling from, the mists.
Exactly.
The areas himself?
Yeah, large. He's less than life.
to put it one way. So he basically looks exactly like all these aspects we've been seeing, except he's massive. He's actually got a really cool skin. I think he's very cool. The
tattooed black and white skin that kind of looks like he's not quite charred.
Yeah, and you've got the kind of pulsing lava kind of colour going through the black bits. It's nice.
And his axes are larger than...
Yeah, that's true. You put an Asura next to that axe and it won't even, it won't even reach the, won't even be taller than the handle. But there we go, so Kanaksai is down. That is the deep, basically, guys. Talked about all the main stuff, I do believe. I'm just going to check my notes. Yeah, I think we do. Is there anything you wanted to add?
Oh, that this is a mission that doesn't get played enough. That people go to the underworld and foe and to the primeval kings way more than they come here. I never see people in town begging for help for this one. Every now and then, 2-3 people. I think if you want one of the parts of the game that is underrepresented, this would be it. And I think it's worth having a go at it once or twice. And I think this video and my tutorial, watched together, could give you sufficient information to do it on with your guildies or friends.
Yeah, so nice way to end it. So I will see you guys next time. Both of us will see you next time when we'll be taking a look like this at Ergo. So see you later.